Hey guys, time for a news dump.
And Halloween's over, kids, so go ahead and change your little spooky Twitter names to something about thankfulness, or about how cranberry sauce is a bullshit food, or about how tryptophan is a myth.
It's actually real, but you need a lot more of it to actually be sleepy from it. It's just that you're eating so much turkey that you do get tired and then pass out. But it's fun.
The reason you're tired after Thanksgiving is because you're fat.
Sure.
Anyway, or just keep your scary names, because Halloween, it's a state of mind, man. Doesn't matter what time of year. You can enjoy spooky shit all year round. And speaking of spookiness, It, Chapter 2, has officially wrapped production, and while we're gonna have to wait until next September to see how that whole story concludes, director Andy Muschietti is wasting no time at all lining up his next projects now that he's finished with Pennywise. And he's looking to do something that many people consider impossible. Make an American live-action anime adaptation that doesn't suck. Specifically, Attack on Titan.
I was so worried when I read this news. It's like those memes that have been going around where it's like the manga, the anime, the Netflix adaptation. This isn't a Netflix adaptation, but there's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah, I mean, inherently, yeah.
Are they gonna show Massive Dong?
They better.
Well, they don't really show it in the... Okay, whatever. As you know, when it comes to anime, we are idiots, and we find many people's obsession with it strange, although that has been changing. But, however, out of all the animes that we forced ourselves to watch over the last year, Attack on Titan ranks pretty damn high as something we would actually enjoy watching more of, and actually enjoyed watching. It was a bit heavier than I thought that cartoons could be, but that was good.
I've been picking at it. I watched an episode here or there. It's very enjoyable.
Now, the subject matter is, like most anime, it's pretty damn odd, but in an age when Game of Thrones is one of the most popular shows on TV, Attack on Titan is pretty damn enjoyable for complete anime noobs. It's scary, it's action-packed, it's mysterious, it gets real fucking gory at points.
Yeah.
And it even manages to make steampunk work, somehow.
Yeah.
It also seems like the kind of story that, in the right hands, might actually break the Hollywood anime manga adaptation curse, much like the video game adaptation curse.
Yeah, they're both curses. And that curse is quite real. The 2009 Dragon Ball Z movie, Dragon Ball Evolution, is considered by pretty much everyone to be one of the worst things ever committed to film. And more recently, Ghost in the Shell succeeded at bringing the look of its source material to live action, but little else. And it also faced a ton of backlash over accusations of whitewashing the characters. And next year we've got Alita Battle Angel, which looks okay, but the fact that it was supposed to come out in July and then it got delayed until December, then it got delayed again to February, probably not a good sign. And with Attack on Titan in particular, remaking it in live action has already been tried before in Japan. And even that result is widely considered to be pretty mediocre.
I, at the time, thought that Dragon Ball Evolution movie was legitimately was a fan film.
It looks like
for
it.
the internet.
Yeah.
I was unaware that it was a fully produced, funded, and backed project.
Yeah. Wow.
It looked like one of those...
This episode of Superpower Beatdown is real high budget.
Yeah, no, that's what it looked like. It looked like one of those things. But anyways, Andy Muschietti might be able to pull this shit off. For one thing, his existing films, It and Mama, both feature some really fantastic visual effects for their monsters. They also both feature children in the lead roles. So doing a movie about a group of kids doing battle with a giant creepy humanoid monster and a whole bunch of them, it's definitely in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, so that's a project we'll definitely be crossing our fingers about and hoping that it works out. Because like we said, in the right hands, it could really succeed as a live action English language film. But Andy Muschietti is a very busy man, and this week it also came out that he's also writing and directing a new adaptation of H.G. Wells' classic science fiction novel, The Time Machine. The original novel was released in 1895 and is about an inventor who builds a time machine and then travels hundreds of thousands of years into the future and encounters two races of post-human creatures, one above ground and one below. It's previously been adapted a bunch of times to varying degrees of success, and it sounds like this version will be a reimagining that takes the basic premise and then goes its own way from there.
I don't know if I'm interested in time travel anymore because either you nail it like Back to the Future, or like going 100,000 years into the future, it's like we won't even be here. We're gonna be dead in like 20 years.
Yeah, it's you go 10 years in the future. Oh my God, there's a race of human beings living underground. Wow. Maybe they'll do that with it.
Yeah, no, they just go to a barren wasteland where the Earth used to be.
You did it. What year is it? Oh, 2036. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that happened a lot quicker
All
than I
the
could've
humans,
guessed.
they moved to Mars and live in a city called Musk. It's very weird. Anyways, let's move on to Netflix news. They might be getting sued for infringing the copyright of the Satanic Temple.
Yep.
So neither of us has watched, although I hear it's good, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Again, we hear it's pretty good. It's not at all like the Sabrina that we grew up with, which was Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Clarissa explains the devil.
Is there a talking cat in this one?
Yeah. I don't know if it talks, but they do have Salem the Black Cat.
Okay, good. Now, anyways, the show apparently prominently features a statue of Baphomet in the witchcraft school Sabrina attends, and the real-life Satanic Temple says it's a complete ripoff of their own statue of Baphomet. And Satanic Temple co-founder Lucian Greaves said they're going to be taking real legal action against Netflix for not only stealing their statue design, but also besmirching the meaning of their statue.
Yeah, so contrary to what their name implies, the Satanic Temple aren't actually worshippers of the devil. Most of them are atheists, and they're mainly just a group who uses satire to criticize the privileges that religious organizations in this country receive from the government. And they lobby for separation of church and state. So basically, if the government's so cool with stuff like prayer in public schools and religious symbols on public property, then surely the government will also protect satanic prayer in schools and satanic symbols on public property. It's just a way to troll the government into actually enforcing separation of church.
But in a less nefarious way, unlike the Church of Scientology, which actually uses it just to dodge taxes.
Blackmailed the IRS.
Yeah.
Now, most famously, they protested a monument of the Ten Commandments that was commissioned by the governor of Oklahoma to stand in front of the Oklahoma Capitol building, and they did so by building their own statue of the demon Baphomet and lobbying for it as well to be displayed outside of the Oklahoma Capitol.
Yeah.
It's a religion. It's a religious symbol. If we're doing this one, why not this one?
This helped bring wider attention to the fact that a state government had commissioned a Christian monument for a government building. And eventually, after being sued and pressured by other groups, the Ten Commandments monument was relocated to private property. So a big win for the Satanic Temple, but again, they're not actually Satanists, so they're pretty annoyed that their Baphomet statue has been repurposed by Netflix to be an actual satanic symbol in a fictional show about fictional witches. It's confusing, but Netflix, they might actually be in trouble here, which is pretty funny. So it's definitely a story that we're going to keep our eyes on.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love it. They've got a case.
Yeah.
You have upset the devil, and he will see you in court.
Yeah.
In other Netflix news, they recently canceled both Iron Fist and Luke Cage to the shock and dismay of Marvel fans. But according to statistics obtained by Screen Rant, Netflix actually had a decent reason to do so. Apparently, both shows had a major drop-off in viewer numbers in their second season, and thus became a lot harder for Netflix to justify paying for them to be made. Knowing what we learned about Netflix on this week's Tech News Day, we're going to just assume that rather than tell the shows entirely that they were canceled, they had various waves of firings where the key grip fired all the grips, and then the gaffer fired the key grip, and then the DP fired the gaffer, and then the second AD fired the DP, and then the first AD fired the second AD, and so on until everyone had fired everyone else, like dominoes.
Yeah.
It's the Netflix way.
And they love it. But it proves analytics will show the truth, and you can't really argue with them. If no one's watching it, then...
And Netflix, they still don't release their data analytics, but there's enough companies have come up in the last few years that can pretty reliably guess at it, probably through cookies and shit that you're unknowingly infected with.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
you weren't watching it.
You weren't watching it, so it's gone.
Yeah. In other data obtained by Screen Rant, they say that viewership, even on Daredevil Season 3, has been down by 57% compared to Season 2. So this entire Marvel Netflix universe might not be around as long as some might hope. Of course, while the reason for all this could be that the shows aren't as good anymore and the viewers just are less interested, we find it just as likely that the average Netflix user simply has too much fucking content available for them to watch. It's everywhere. I just started the Haunting on Hill House or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. Been meaning to watch Sabrina. Narcos Season 3. There's too much fucking shit.
Yeah.
The new Orson Welles movie out tonight.
How am I supposed to finish The Good Place when I got the House on the Hill?
Yeah.
If someone consistently watches 20 hours of Netflix a week and Netflix keeps increasing the number of original programs, everything's probably gonna get viewed a lot less because you're diluting it.
Yeah.
Also, and this is a big one, Netflix's user interface is absolute trash these days.
Yep.
There's a good chance a lot of fans of Daredevil don't even know the show is back because it's hidden 8 menus down underneath a bunch of shit that they're not interested in and a bunch of other stuff that they've already watched. So why are you showing that to them and not the Daredevil thing?
My menu is almost entirely shit that I've already watched, but like I didn't watch all the credits, so they're like, "Do you want to keep watching this movie?" I'm like, "No, I got it ended." I left.
I don't care with the thanks they gave to Ontario, Canada for filming there.
I don't even think there's like a function to like hide this.
Yeah, and also
bad.
To go along with this, like I was looking for that Hill House show and I had to just search for it because I couldn't like I was going through the things. I'm like, it's not showing up for me.
Yeah,
they just might think that I don't want to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's annoying. And even when I'm like in the middle of watching a show, like I've been watching Adam Ruins Everything lately.
Yeah.
Even then, like that should be at the very top. Like, do you want to watch the next episode of the thing you were most recently watching? But I gotta like scroll and find it somewhere.
Yeah.
Fix your shit, Netflix.
Also, this could be that, you know, Disney's coming out with their own streaming platform and
Disney could be.
Maybe they don't want to work with Netflix anymore.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Big if true. Meanwhile, though, Netflix has released a quick screen test of Henry Cavill fully suited up as Geralt of Rivia for their Witcher series that's currently in development, and he looks like shit.
They should have played this off as like a bad Halloween costume. Just joking, guys. Don't worry.
His wig looks like the one that Christopher Lambert wore as Raiden in the Mortal Kombat movies, but somehow even shittier. And the vibe here is more 90s European softcore porn than badass monster hunter skilled in the dark arts. According to some people, this look is actually more accurate to the books, and everyone freaking out only feels the way they do because the games made Geralt more grizzled and bearded. If so, then fuck the books.
Yeah, it's just that
the only reason this is getting made is because of the fucking games.
Yeah, obviously, and that's the only visual representation that we have so far to go off of.
Yeah.
So,
in any case, this looks like Legolas cosplay, and we're not really sure why Netflix decided to share this with everyone in the first place, especially considering that the show isn't even close to being released. They haven't even started filming it yet.
Well, it's good that they did, because hopefully now they can just fix it. They're
wow, yeah.
Like it's like, oh, well, it's accurate to the book, but people fucking hate it.
Yeah.
So maybe we should fix it.
I would feel shame watching this on my phone in a public place.
Yeah, because people would think you're looking at softcore porn.
Yeah. Ooh, is that Fabio?
Yeah, looking good. In other streaming news, and probably the only news this week that we even care about, King of the Hill has finally returned to streaming. This time on Hulu.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm already a member of Hulu, so that's real exciting for me. I saw this news and I was like, they really just put this out there without much announcement. It was just like on their Twitter page, and I'm like, I feel like
this is the biggest Hulu news in years.
Why aren't there billboards everywhere? Yeah, it's been a long couple of years since King of the Hill was pulled from Netflix, leaving us all lost and alone. But the dark days, they're over. Anyone with a Hulu account can now enjoy all 13 seasons of the best fucking cartoon to ever have graced television screens. And I know that's saying a lot, but I have never rewatched a show more than King of the Hill in my entire life. Maybe some early episodes of The Simpsons, but as an entire show, it is amazing.
It's perfect.
And they ended it, and it started getting a little wacky towards the end, but at least they didn't put it out forever with a bunch of bullshit at the end.
Yeah, it didn't go 25 fucking seasons, like with writers who weren't even born when it came out.
We gotta get rid of John Redcorn because everyone in the Native American League's upset.
See, but John Redcorn, actually a very tastefully done character.
Very alpha, fucking the other guy's wife. Yeah. And making him raise his son. He cucked that man. He cucked him good.
It's one of the first examples of cuckoldry that I can recall in popular entertainment.
Yeah. The movie, the show is about a hardworking husband, father, and assistant manager of Strickland Propane.
Propane and propane accessories.
King of the Hill is not only one of the best animated series ever made, it's also just one of the best comedy series ever made. And now it's just a click away. If for some reason you haven't seen it, but you love Silicon Valley, same guy.
Mike Judge.
He also did Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Ask your parents. It used to be edgy.
And Office Space and Idiocracy. He's done good work.
Prolific career.
In other news, it was recently revealed that Disney's Boba Fett standalone movie, which was announced years ago as one of the many Star Wars films that fans should expect eventually, that's officially 100% canceled, with Disney instead choosing to focus on their live-action show, The Mandalorian. But if you really want to dwell on what could have been, Entertainment Weekly has revealed that the Boba Fett movie would have been about not just Boba Fett, but all of the bounty hunters that were featured briefly in The Empire Strikes Back during the scene where they're all hired to go and kidnap Han Solo. And it was going to be directed by James Mangold, the director of Logan. So, bounty hunters, Logan, James Mangold. It sounds like it could have been the Star Wars version of Suicide Squad, but actually good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was never going to happen.
They should give them an episode of The Mandalorian.
They should.
Anyways, we can't really show you trailers anymore because movie studios issue copyright strikes to anyone on YouTube who shows even brief moments of their content, which is very stupid and counterproductive to the entire point of trailers, but whatever. Hey, though, this week, let's briefly risk it on 2 trailers. This is now the risky.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah. Also, by the way, before we get into this, we have a join button now.
Join.
Below the video.
Join us.
And you can become a member, whatever that means, of our channel now, what it actually means is that you support the channel monetarily, which would be great. So if you haven't had a chance to go over to the Patreon or you're looking for an easier way to do that, you can click the join button and you're gonna get we made badges and emotes, and there's a Tugs Boy emote and a Gritty emote, so you're gonna get real excited. Click the join button, check it out, see what it does. Because we're gonna need it, because here comes the demonetization, and it's just gonna go to these companies. Anyways, Dogs is a 6-part series coming to Netflix later this month about the unconditional love between humans and their best friends. Clearly, they got the numbers back on how shit like The Dog Whisperer and Dogs with Jobs were doing, and realized they needed to cancel Luke Cage and go film a bunch of dogs, ASAP. And you know what? We're fine with that.
Yeah. This looks like it will be a very heartwarming documentary series. Documentary series.
Yeah.
And finally, one of our favorite movies in recent years is Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement's What We Do in the Shadows. And this week, FX released 3 very short teaser clips of their upcoming TV show adaptation of that series, and of that movie. And it's basically the premise of the movie, but it's set in New York instead of New Zealand. You got
American audiences, they won't get it.
Yeah.
What is this, Wellington?
Well, I think half the cast isn't American either, so it's, whatever. The plot is the same as the movie. It's a group of centuries-old vampires that all live together in a house, and they go about their daily lives while being filmed by a documentary film crew. It's honestly one of the best horror comedies ever made, and while we wait for the series to drop sometime this spring, the movie is definitely worth a first-time watch or a rewatch. I'm pretty sure it's on one of those streaming services.
So go get it.
And the series, it stars Matt Berry, who was on the IT Crowd and Toast of London and a bunch of other British comedies.
Very cool.
So yeah, exciting.
Well, there's your 2 trailers. Don't forget to click the join button, become a member today. It's just supporting the show.
Let's get you in on the ground floor.
Get you in on the ground floor. You can be one of the first members to sign up. And I'm sure I think we'll probably do a post and let people that are members ask questions.
Members only.
And then we'll film a litll video doing the answers and put it.
Yeah.
You can actually post videos privately to members only.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, we'll probably kick that off this weekend or something like that. So just become a member so that we make some money off this video, basically. Sorry for being brutally honest and spitting, but check out other videos over here. We have 2 that you need to watch. One is a new episode of Weekly Weird News where we once again retell the Jacob Wall thing. If you want even more detail, there's another video that we did earlier in the week. And then also check out the newest episode of Tech News Day.
Yeah.
And have a great weekend.
Enjoy yourselves.